So the most prominent positives for the economic system you guys reported were the ability to do chess shops or player shops and the auction house. There were some complaints about the UI of the auction house specifically, but otherwise it was a very popular feature. The negatives, silver and gold farming, and the grind for new players, which I can agree with. I do feel like if you're a newer player, it's a little bit tricky to get money right off the bat. So that's fair enough. Some of your suggestions: add more income sources and ways to make money, which I do like that idea. I do want there to be more things you can do to earn money in CCNet. I think if we can implement more tasks you can complete, or maybe like a job system or something like that, we'll have to flesh it out. But I do agree that we need more ways to make money. Rebalance silver and gold, which would probably just happen naturally with more income sources. So those kind of go hand in hand. Some of you guys suggested a company system. This was kind of suggested in bits and pieces from different people, so I kind of pulled it together to be, you guys were thinking of a way to have a company with employees who have salaries, who do contracts, company banks for the money. I think that's actually a really cool idea. I don't know how it would work in game, to be honest, but I really like that idea. And I just want to point out that I think that's really interesting and something we might add, especially for the larger nations who have a lot of members, and those members need money. And like Tears was saying, you're begging your nation for money, please. I think this would be a really good way to get that.
It's a great moment to ask for donations.
Yeah, right. Now's the time. The last thing you guys requested were more accessible trade capitals. We were kind of toying with the idea of better public transportation systems. Some people suggested traveling trade capitals that kind of move around the map, so they're accessible to some people sometimes. And I'm not sure about the logistics on a traveling one, but I do want more transportation options in the game, especially because the new nations map will be a lot larger. So we want to make sure that it is accessible for everybody, including the newbies. So good suggestion. I like it. We are probably going to run with that one in some capacity.
I do like the company system. It's a really nice idea. Imagine being a CEO of your own company on CCNet. Who wouldn't want that? And being able to earn money from somewhere else other than silver farming. When I hear silver farming, I get nauseous. But like also the trade capital accessibility and public transportation systems is gonna be one of the biggest things that I like personally, because I do get the need of better transportation. I do get the need of being able to go from point A to point B very fast, very quick. And you know, nowadays it's okay it's accessible, but it's not as accessible as it would be if we implemented something like that. So I think that you guys had a very good point on that one. You actually had a good point. Like, it's amazing to see a suggestion that will ease the movement around the map. And as Somi said, the map being bigger, we are gonna have the need for more transportation systems.
I do love creating networks of either trucks or either way trains too. I enjoy that very well, and I think that's a good implementation that we can do, which is traveling to places and especially trade capitals too. Regarding companies, I do think that companies are also an aspect that the player base has actually created. It's not actually something that we implement in the game, but it's one of the roleplay aspects which the player base actually has implemented itself, like the slime fun business, Woofcraft business. People sell ships, people sell slime fun, people even sell designs. And yeah, I do think that that's a great aspect of the roleplay inside the server. And I really, pointing out to Ashes 43 for selling her boats, yes, I do remember them. They are pretty good. I enjoy her company. And I also agree again with the rebalance of the silver and the gold system and more income and resources, like ways to make money, etc. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I have to say. I will pass to the next person.
Certain things, but there's just so much. You know, it's crazy how much there is in sieges. So we do our best, and we know that the sieges are a big pain point for a lot of people. Like I was saying earlier, it's come up so much in a lot of the feedback we've gotten. We have some ideas. We will tell you those ideas at the end, but Yeah, we got such a variety of feedback on sieges that I didn't include it in here because there was just so many different opinions. There weren't a lot of people that agreed.
What do you like about PvP regions? And what do you not like about it? Let's see. The most prominent positive was that they were fun and simple. They supplement sieges and they're great for practice, for PvP practice, and I kind of agree to that. Not enough regions though, and dominance from alliances and terrain. Now, I would like to say that not enough regions, okay, but dominance from alliances, I think that should be up for discussion because everybody has to play, everybody has to conquer, and it's competitive, so you have to compete for those. But I get the point, but that's why it's competitive. And then the terrain is another question, which I won't get into that, but I can say that it's a bit funky, but I like it personally. And then suggestions are expand upon and improve existing regions and add more regions, which is fair. A surprise, basically an announcement or lock-in system where there's time to prepare. Map rotation, capture points, beacons, and more, and change them regularly. Basically, you guys want to see, I think, the beacons changing positions in the siege region. And then you have smaller regions for smaller nations or more accessible for smaller groups, which is totally fair because everybody should have a region. But I think that smaller regions should have a smaller reward, because they're smaller and more accessible, but they should be there because they're nice.
Well, I think most of the suggestions here are actually well-based. I could agree with you regarding the dominance. But I do agree that seeing some improvement in PvP regions, even though I am a builder, I'm mainly a builder, I don't go to PvP regions, I've never been into one, so I'm not going to get into the combat stuff. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid opinion of the player base to ask for changes in those systems because they are pretty fun, but they also need some changes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not really big on PvP either, but I do know how popular it is. I know you guys love PvP. I don't know why. I don't know if it's an anger management thing, but either way, I agree that there could definitely be some improvements, and these were some really substantial suggestions too. You guys had some actually realistic ideas, things we could genuinely implement. So I see no reason why we can't make this a little bit better for you guys.
The move press system might be loved. What do you like about the move press system? What you don't like about it, and why? What would you improve or add? These are your ideas. The most positive ones were the creativity of the system, the variety they use in combat, the accessibility, and the most negative ones was the staleness of it, the meta, the balance issues, mainly for sieges. You guys suggested some stuff, which would be add new ship or vehicle types, give them more practical purposes to rebalance the movecraft combat. That's like turrets, IFV damage, which happens in sieges. Improve the groundcraft and careers. Quality of life updates as well, like passing through leaves, remove snow, ability to walk, moving, etc. And movecraft is very complicated, as many of you we know. So we can try to see what's possible to do with the development team for the future, but we aren't going to promise you guys anything listed here.
Yeah, movecraft is great. I think the concept of movecraft is so fun, but I do agree. I think we need some more vehicle types, less warships and more like, hey, I have a car or something that I can use to get around the map safely. Something like that I think would be nice for transportation. But you guys had some good comments in quality of life too. I didn't even realize some of these things because I never encountered them, that you can't pass through leaves and that snow is a placeable block. I didn't know that. That's crazy. So thank you for bringing that up. We didn't know some of these things, or I didn't know them at least. So it's good to know that there's some little things we can probably tweak here and there that just make it more enjoyable inherently. And then the larger things we'll work on as well.
Movecraft is definitely a complicated thing. I can say that because I'm not a splendid Movecrafter, but I do enjoy Movecraft and I do enjoy ships. I would like to say though that most of the suggestions in here are actually pretty nice. More vehicle types are like amazing. You know, like you said with a car, I would personally love to see like I don't know, a tractor. Well, we have harvesters, but I would like to see a tractor or like see something else. You know, something unique.
Can we have rockets, please? I think we have been asking this for a long time now.
Might be making a lawnmower.
Yeah, you know, like we could have
really quiet.
So many stuff that could be on it. But yeah, I will. I'm actually really excited to see the next Movecraft update. And since Movecraft is one of my biggest things that I like to do, because I'm not that good on PvP, I must admit. I do think that yes, they are very creative in use, and they are very accessible for new people that like are not good in certain types of PvP. But they're kind of meta, and they're mainly for sieges, which is, a bit sad. But, we can find updates with the suggestions.
We are checking you guys. You guys are bringing us suggestions, and we are receiving it. So
yeah, there was so much. And I loved seeing how some of you guys are really passionate about some of these questions. And I think that was really fun to see. The absolute walls of text some of you submitted were crazy, but it just meant that you really cared. So I appreciated it. I was up late just reading them all, and there's so many ideas. I am going to, I still have the access to the form answers, so I'll be referencing those ideas too and just pulling them all out when we are actually doing development. But these are like the greatest hits, and you guys definitely had some good ones.
Okay, and the final remarks from the survey is that we saw that you guys are like, that yes, you care about the server, you want the server to succeed, but you also said that you want staff to listen more, communicate better, moderate more fairly, and involve experienced players in decisions, and to do more to bring to the people. I'm gonna say I'm gonna speak about myself, because I want every host to give an opinion in here, and I also asked Cam Bionicle and Paul to share their opinions if they want to on this slide. I will say that I do agree with some of the stuff being said in here, but I also want to point out that, me as a staff member, usually I am busy in real life. Maybe I have a bad day one day. Maybe I, have bad energy. I wake up badly. Something happened to me. I don't know. But the thing is that I get what you mean by, communicate better. But I would like to point out that staff are doing their best, and I am doing my best. And sometimes we just have our moments, and we have our issues, personal issues, and those things should be respected. As far as moderate more fairly, I will let that be a discussion for the admins. And yeah, Davey, Francis, if you have anything to say in here.
Yeah, I pretty much talk a lot, so I'm gonna try to contain myself. But being a player for some time now, and in 2025 being able to become a part of the staff team, I have experienced a lot of stuff from both sides, either from being a player or from becoming staff. It's not an easy thing to volunteer for, but I pretty much did it because I like it. I want to help the community. I want to see people be able to express themselves and share their opinion. And I'm not gonna lie, for myself, it became pretty much of a burden being a staff member, not because it's boring or because I just don't like it. It's more because, like, I don't know, things often can get through your head. As Tier said, you might have a bad day. I almost just gave up on helping the community, something which I deeply regret, but I'm here now. I am very well inspired to continue, and I am more than excited to see what changes we can do regarding the future development plans, and I want to be in all of them to make sure that people actually receive what they want.
So, for those of you who don't know, hi. I went by the username Cam Bionicle before. I am Algorithm now. I've been a staff member on CCNet for about 6 years. Recently, behind the scenes, the senior admins have been discussing changes to the staff team in terms of punishments as well as staff roles. So, in terms of punishments, I know that a major criticism has been that we are not consistent, and I 100% agree with you guys. Myself, Paul, and Kant, we spent a lot of time developing a brand new punishment system for CCNet. We're looking to utilize punishments outside of bans, so utilizing mutes more. If a player is abusing certain mechanics, such as town creation or other things like that, removing those perms instead of just outright banning, things such as that. Basically, the more specialized punishments that can actually target the root of the problem rather than just applying a blanket ban and hoping for the best, because it obviously doesn't really work. Now, other things that we have been discussing is, of course, there's been a lot of criticism that we are too harsh, and that also goes into our thing about not being consistent. Our new punishment guidelines are not fully released just yet because we have just recently completely redone our ban plugin. Our ban plugin is now completely in-house, and that allows us to have our own menu of rules and, severity of punishment to actually dish out. So that'll help us also stay on track more. We also have a new system for managing evidence, as well as managing evidence tied to specific bans or players, and punishments that are linked to one another. That'll help us a lot with data management and, of course, keeping players more organized when we're actually going through ban appeals. Another thing, too, that I mentioned is discussing staff roles. We are currently discussing adding more staff ranks. I know that, I forgot who it was, I think it was Cosmic, who mentioned, siege overviewers. We're currently discussing something kind of like that, as well as more specialized staff roles, such as just strictly chat moderators, players who have access to either /warn or temporary /mute. That way, if somebody is being an asshole in chat, they can just go ahead and take care of it before a ticket even has to be made. And so we are working on a bunch more other specialized staff roles that we are considering. And so I'm hoping that that also helps put a little bit more faith towards the staff team as we continue to work on ourselves and improve our internal communication structure and how we do things.
Okay.
I just want to say that we've been working for a lot of things that are gonna be shared with the players eventually. But all I want to say is that we as admin team don't do stuff just out of the blue, okay? And that's what I want the players to understand, because sometimes the players have been harsh with us regarding how we manage the team, and I want you to understand that we don't do it just because we hate you. We don't, and actually the players are the reasons why we are here. So that's what I want the players to understand. And yeah, that's everything I can say. I just want to copy everything that Cam said before. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, a lot of what Cam was bringing up too, we are going to go into a little more detail about in terms of community updates, but we are definitely hearing you guys. We understand there are some mismatches in how things have been handled lately, and it's something that I've been seeing as a newer staff member. You don't see me handling your tickets, but I do look at them and I do see what's going on with them, just to make sure they're moving, and I've definitely seen some issues with that. So it's something we are aware of, and we do care a lot about your guys' perception of how staff handles things. So we want to make sure we're doing it the right way. It's something we're going to figure out. So please just bear with us while we transition and figure this out, but it's coming. We're trying, I swear.
You have the pressure somehow to deal with issues and to do stuff that, players expect you to, which is fair because that's why you're staff. But at the same time, I wish that, players or that the community in general would understand that, being staff is not so easy, and that we as a staff team do not hate anybody or that we like somebody. Sure, we may have friends from the community, but that doesn't affect our, objectivity and our professionalism, because we are here to deliver quality and to make sure that everybody receives a fair treatment regarding the gameplay, the rules, and stuff like that. I've seen, and as a helper, I usually am in voice chats, I usually am in text chats, I'm everywhere with players because that's what I like to do. I always see that players say that, staff are biased or that staff are, leaning towards the side, and I want to say that's not true. Because it is not true, and it will never be true. Even though I am, for example, from OE, I will never be biased against our biggest enemy, which is Eastern Syndicate. No, because it should be fair, and everybody should be treated with the same treatment. And I would like players to understand that we actually care about everyone, and that we do not like someone more or hate someone more. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
I just want to share something with you guys, like an experience that I've myself have experienced before, which is I've been a staff member for about 5 years, I believe. And at first I was a helper, and then I became a moderator. And after being 3 years in the moderation team, I was promoted by Inuja to the admin team. And there's something funny that I realized after being an admin for a year, which is that the players are more critical with the admin team. And I mean, I just want to end my participation with this. We don't hate you guys. We do everything because of you. And I understand that you sometimes say we're not consistent, which is true. And I agree with Cam when she said about that. But it's not because we do it because we hate you. It's maybe some lack of communication within the admin team or the staff team.
Okay, Davey, can you move the slide, please?
I'm a bit scared of doing that, but sure, why not?
Come on!
Sure.
Do it.
Sure, I will do it. Fine.
3. The future of nations. Well, before going in, I would really love to thank you guys and thank the CCNet community for being for so long with us and for playing this wonderful server for so long. I'm so grateful for all of the players who support the server, who always contribute to the server, and who bring in innovation, and who generally do their best in order for the server to change. Now, I'm not a nations tree expert. That would be Somi, canonical algorithm, and Mr. Mook. And from this part of the presentation until the credits, they are gonna be the one doing the talking. So Davey, we're gonna step down a bit. We're gonna have interventions. Yes, sure. But
I love speaking.
We're gonna move this slide now because they need to see what's going on for Nations Tree.
Right.
So we're moving on.
Enough of yapping. Sorry, guys. Goodbye.